The Pepstorm is nothing but a normal 12-gram CO2 driven balloon. The outside, the black bottle will pop as soon as you've released enough of this, the 12-gram CO2, and with that pop, it will disperse the pepper inside. So your little black bottle will have approximately 35 grams of pepper, which is the equivalent of about 12 pepper balls. About 12 or 13 pepper balls. And then your 12-gram canister goes into that core, that canister holder in the middle. That canister holder in the middle, we've reused those over 60 times with perfect repeatability. So you will get approximately 60 uses out of a core, and all you got to do is you just have to refill them with a new CO2 and with a new refill bottle. And the refill bottles are cheap, and the CO2 canisters, you know what they cost, they're a couple of cents each. So we used to import something from China, which was a normal airsoft grenade with a spoon. And then one morning on the way to work, I got an idea that I wanted to change it to look like this. And I immediately phoned up my designer in the car, and I explained to him, listen, this and this and this. And he said, okay, I get it. And we created the product, and we took it to engineering, and they cut it. And the first iteration worked perfectly, which is a massive problem.
I didn't expect you to say that.
because in engineering, you want to go through your mistakes one by one. You want to go through a list of failures so that you can get to a product that actually works at the end of the day. Where if your products work first time, you're in trouble because you don't know what may or may not happen when the product starts failing. So we said, okay, we'll make a couple, and we made 1,000 units, and we threw them, and the mistakes started coming in, and the failures started happening, and we started, making the changes and making sure that the product is bulletproof. And now, and we had about a 2% misfire rate, which means that every 2 out of every 100 grenades wouldn't go off.
Right.
And that's huge. That's massive. That's not what you want. Not when you're giving these things to military agencies or to policing agencies. You want to use this thing and make sure that it works. And we actually retooled and remade it, and we came out with this product, which is now, I think we test every batch that we make. We test 3 out of 100. And we've not had any failures in the last 10,000 units that we've made. So we can say that we've got a 0.1% or less than a 0.1% failure rate, which is pretty decent. And then the factory or the engineering works that we used as a third party, they came up for sale in June last year, and we actually bought the factory. And now we make all these parts in-house. This is now our facility, and we make a lot of parts for nuclear medicine, but we also make a lot of parts for our stuff on which you can see on the screen there. Even the plastic safety clips are cut by our own laser cutters. In that picture, the only thing that we don't make is the cap on the bottle, the CO2 canister, and the spring. The rest is all made by us. The bottles we own, the tooling, all the parts are turned in our factory. That centering, that little one centering with the 3 small holes, that is the most important part of that whole grenade, because that makes sure that you puncture that bottle right in the middle of the neck, and that then gives you predictable delay time. The delay time on that product is approximately 4.8 seconds, give or take 0.2 to the up or the down, full, and then when it's empty, your delay time is approximately 6 seconds. So the sonic boom, which is the non-pepper base unit. That will give you approximately a 6-second delay. And then the pop was quite interesting. We were testing suppressors. We were making suppressors as well. And we make suppressors for 30 calibers, and we make suppressors for 25 calibers, and we make suppressors for big stuff as well. It's actually quite it's actually a very interesting subject, suppressors, but that's a talk for another day. When we were on the firing range, we were testing decibel on the suppressor itself, and I had a couple of these in hand, and I said to the testing agents, listen guys, do you mind if we tested the pop on the sonic boom and on the Pepstorm? And they said, no, by all means, go ahead. And I think I popped about 6 or 7, and they were all approximately 158 decibels, which is pretty damn decent. It's I
think you were saying that's right, right in between a 9mm and a 308 as far as decibels.
Yeah, I think a 30 caliber weapon is will fire at approximately 164 decibels.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
and a 9mm, you're looking at approximately 150 decibels. Now, sound is interesting. For every 6 decibels that your sound goes up, you actually have to double your input power. So
you're speaking my language back in the day. Logarithmic changes in frequency and decibels. Man, I used to teach this all the time.
Well, then I'm preaching to the converted. I think then you know that 158 decibels is a lot more than 150 decibels.
Yep.
But it's a lot less than 164 decibels.
Mm-hmm.
I had at some stage we had a guy that says they made a grenade and their grenade goes to 300 decibels, not like the Duke things. I'm like, 300 decibels, really? That's a lot. and I think the biggest Russian nuclear bomb, that Tsar Bomba, I think that thing topped out at about 290 or 288 decibels.
Yeah.
And this guy gets 300 decibels out of his grenade. It was very fun. The grenade will give you quite a decent pop inside a building as well as outside of a building, and if you talk meters, you've got about a 5-meter pepper dispersion. Where in feet, what's that? About
15.
Yeah, about 15 feet pepper dispersion, and so that's enough to saturate any room. It's enough to saturate most medium-sized rooms. So if you're looking at maybe a 15 by 20 foot room, you'll saturate that in an instant, and you will disorientate everyone inside the room. It's intrinsically safe. It doesn't make a spark. So the mines all over use these to take out the illegal miners, or they throw it down the air shafts to irritate the illegal miners, and there's no risk of blowing up because there's no spark, because there's no primer, and there's no chemical delay. It's all just a air delay, which means that these things, apart from the pepper inside, these things are non-controlled. And being non-controlled, it means that we sell them on the shelves in the shops, in the stores in South Africa.
Yeah.
And we've got a couple in the US, and I sent them around to some of the law enforcement agencies, and they absolutely loved it because it is cost effective, and you're getting approximately the same as what you would get with something which is very controlled and very dangerous to work with a high danger of burning everything down.
Yeah.
These things, you can throw them, they're a dime a dozen, and you can throw them all over the show without having any shrapnel, without having any burn risk, and they're reusable. So it's a big plus in terms of throwables for any agency, and then for any private citizen as well. These things are non-controlled, so you can use them. Okay, so one of the products that we've designed and developed over, I guess, the last year is a little self-defense device that you can put in your purse, or you can put in your pocket, or you can put in your back pocket. It's very light. It's simple to use. It's focused on campers. It's focused on cyclists. It's focused on walkers, old people, people who do not want to carry a firearm in a holster on their belt. You just put this in the back of your pocket. It's called a pepper blaster, or in a South African accent, a pepper blaster. So this is it.
That's awesome.
And
I think I watched the video. I think I watched the video on your website or something about, or showing it or something, besides us talking about it the other day.
Yeah, so the pepper blaster, I'm going to unscrew it here so that you can see. Basically, what it's got is it's got this round of ammunition. Sorry, I have to just keep this in front of my face. This round of ammunition, it fires a 22 nail gun blank at the back, which when you fire it, it makes approximately the same decibel level as a 9mm at about 152, which we incidentally also tested on the firing range. And then the front is filled with pepper, and the pepper is approximately the equivalent of 3 pepper balls. And basically all you're going to do is you're going to load it in, screw it in, and you're loaded. You're loaded and ready to rock and roll. If you want to fire it, this would be your safety, this little lanyard. So you put the lanyard around your wrist, and as soon as you want to fire it, you just pull the lanyard off, and now this thing is ready to be fired. You pull it back and just release it, and it's a spring loaded. It's nothing else but a normal firing pin. It will hit the rim fire 22 blank, and the 22 blank will fire all the pepper out the front. And it's a single shot. It makes approximately it makes about a 6-foot cloud at about 15 feet.
That's amazing. I mean, I think we're going to move thousands of those. I mean, that is a very, very intelligent, smart product to bring to market, especially given our, violent world we're living in right now,
So once you're finished, I just want to keep this in front of my face so that your viewers can see. Once you're finished firing it, you've got this whole thing is made of aluminium. So the rear is it now turns into something like a little like a little ball that you can hit the guy with. And the front, you'll see the front has got some sharp teeth, and these sharp teeth it's a less than lethal little tooth or little tips that you can actually scratch your assailant with. So you can attack your assailant. You can get some DNA off him to use later on, and you can get the DNA for quite a while. You can get some DNA for half an hour out of the guy. Anyway, it sounds bad, but yeah, that's the official line. It's a DNA collector.
Yeah, it's a DNA collector. That's funny as all. Yeah.
So that's the product. And then so the kit comes with the pepper blaster with a little pouch, and it comes with 4 of those long rounds, and then it comes with 6 of these little short ones. These little short rounds just make a noise, and they're called happy snappers. And when you've had a beer or two and you're standing around the barbecue, you want to show your friends, then you pull out a happy snapper and you fire away, and your friends all go, "Ooh, I want one of those." And you've just become my best salesman, because you're showing your new toy to all your mates, and they all want these things. So and then you get refill packs of 5 rounds a piece of.
And are those available right now for us as a dealer to order and sell, or are we still waiting?
we're waiting for the ATF to give us a ruling
Okay.
on the product. Once they've given us a ruling on the product that it is a non-firearm, then we can start moving it. And then the normal rules will apply with that you would have with any of the less lethal pistols or less lethal launchers. Where in California you can't have it, and in New York you can't have it, and over here and over there. And there's some pepper spray rules that you have to apply in certain other states. But at the end of the day, it's something that you will carry on your person. It's light, it's thin, it's unobtrusive, and you can carry it in your hand and you're ready for whatever comes your way. While you're walking your dog or while you're riding a bike, you put it in your back pouch of your shirt, or just strolling down the road. You don't want to walk around with a Smith & Wesson 9mm or with a 45 ACP strapped to your belt. You just put this thing in your back pocket and you've got something to protect yourself with.
I love it. Yeah, I'm ready to order a couple million of them. Just kidding.
Thank you.
But maybe close.
I'll take them. We once again we manufacture that whole thing in-house, except for the lanyards. The lanyards we send away. But even the ammunition is made in our chemical factory. All the metal parts are made in our factory that we bought last year for the grenades as well. So that whole kit it was designed in-house, it was patented in-house, and it is manufactured in-house. And we even make the packaging and distribute everything from the South African distributions facility, which we then move out to Texas, and out of the Texas DC that gets moved to the different dealerships.